Welcome to another edition of GhanaWeb Special here on GhanaWeb TV. Today we are within the Keta enclave. We are at Kejikope, which is one of the communities in the larger Keta area, and we are here because of one thing. Just a few days ago, the residents of these areas, Kejikope, Adina, all the way, so these communities run all the way into the Ketu South district of the Volta region, and so what is happening is that they woke up to tidal waves sweeping through their residences. Their homes, properties were destroyed, running into thousands of Ghana cedis. And this is not the first time these tidal waves have swept through people's homes in these areas. They've been running into many years, and so GhanaWeb is in this area to speak to some of the residents to try and get an understanding of what exactly the situation is like, because from what we are told, this is the first time in a long time that the tidal waves have swept this far into the residences. And so I'm here at Kejikope to speak to some of the leaders in this community and get an understanding of what really the situation is. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling Peter Halu.
All right, so Peter will be doing this with me. We're going to walk back into the water. Peter, can you tell us when exactly this thing happened? When exactly happened?
Okay, actually on Sunday early in the morning, as we came around and want to set up our business, we could see that the water is coming, the waves is coming from the sea, which is coming very, very heavily. We cannot able to find where to push our thing. We think that is something that will happen normally, but before we can see, the place all is full of water.
You said you just came in to start your business.
Yeah.
Has this happened before?
Yeah, this thing happened some years ago before, but it's very long that this thing happened again.
How many years far back? Can we put a number to the number of years? How many years far?
Okay, this thing happened 1993. Since 1993, this thing happened here full of water. Nobody was able to stay. We will have to move back to the other side of the river.
So you mean in 93, the water came this far into the communities?
Yeah, the water came far to this community, which was even heavier than this one that we are seeing now.
I see. You mentioned to me earlier that when this happened, it took how many minutes for this entire place to get flooded?
Okay, frankly speaking, it took about some 30 minutes for water to cover all the whole community.
30 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah.
Can you give us a representation of how many people are in this area? This is Kejikope.
Yeah.
How many people live within this area?
Okay, this community, we live about so many people. Even yesterday, as they say we should go around and write the names of people that are affected with the water, we saw that we could get about almost like 100 houses that was affected with the water.
100 houses. How many people can you say live in a particular house?
Some people live around 8 people, some people live 12 in the house, some people live 6 in the house, others live 7 in the house.
So that's an approximation of about 100 plus by 8 or more persons. Yeah. Now I see that your business is around here, your business is here, you are still in the water. Is there a reason you are still in this water? Is there a reason you have not moved?
Okay, the reason that I have not moved is I don't have any place to locate myself, and I'm the only one selling things in the community to help the people in the community, because if I was not able to come, they were not able to buy anything from anywhere, because this is the only place that they buy their foodstuffs and things. So I have to sacrifice myself for them and be in the water and serve the people in the community.
What do you sell exactly?
Okay, I sell cooking items, I sell biscuits, cassava dough, cassava corn, pepper, and a lot of things.
Okay, so you and I are walking through the water, and this is not ordinary for me, because I wouldn't ordinarily be walking through stagnant water like this, even going to the sea or whatever it is. But is this not dangerous?
It's very dangerous for us because we are affected mostly because we don't know what we should do right now. So we can't have anything to say. We have to cope with whatever is happening. So we are just playing with the government, to help out and locate some place for us so that we are able to sleep. Because some people, they even sleep in the community center. They have to move from their various houses because they don't have anywhere to put their items and cook.
You mentioned government, so let's talk about what kind of support you are getting. You said this happened some few days ago.
Yeah, almost 4 days now.
And what kind of support have you gotten from anybody, whether in government or leadership? What kind of support has come to you so far?
Okay, the support that we get, we have some support from the NABNO yesterday. They came around with some foodstuffs, with some mattress and some mosquito nets, cups and some plates to give to some people who are mostly affected. They should be holding for some time. They will be coming for some more things, so we are just pleading for them.
All right. So you mentioned the kind of reliefs that you got. Yeah. Personally, what kind of things did NADMO give you?
Okay, NADMO came around with mattress. They give us a bag of rice, mosquito coil, mosquito net.
What kind of bag of rice? What's the size?
That's 25 kilo. 25 kilo.
And you are
5 kilo. 5 kilo.
5 kilos?
3 bags of rice each person. If you are 6 in the house, they will give you 3. And 4 mosquito coil, a mosquito net, and other bowls that we use to fetch water.
You are a family man.
Yeah.
You have a wife?
This is my wife.
So that's your wife. Okay,
yeah.
This is your wife's business as well.
Yeah.
Let's get close to your wife's business. Are these your children?
Yeah, I have 4 children. 4 children.
4?
Yeah, 4.
Wow. I know that this is going to be more than the conversation we are having, but in the long term, what kind of projections are you making? What is the plan? Is there any plan to even relocate from here? Because you told me that you've seen this before when you were much younger. It's happened again. It's obvious that the climate is changing. The tidal waves are not getting any friendlier with you. What is the plan for someone like you and other people who live in these communities? What is your plan?
Okay, our plan is to, if the water go down, we are just planning to move or relocate ourselves to different sites. But for now, we don't have anywhere to go. So we have to stay and think about what to do next.
This is still a GhanaWeb Special, and this edition we are focusing on the effect that tidal waves have had on communities in the Volta region, coastal communities in the Volta region. We are at Kejikope. We just spoke with Alex. Alex's wife is here. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Please, what's your name?
My name is Janet.
Janet. I see this is your business. Your husband has told us about the kind of challenges that this tidal waves has had on you. For you as a mother in particular, how does it feel? You have a young child. How have you felt, or how did you feel exactly that day when the tidal wave swept all the way into this place? Tell us how that was for you.
It was very difficult because we are just purchasing things here. We sell things, and because of the water, we cannot sell from that Sunday till now. So it has been a difficult time for us.
Can you tell us how much of a loss in terms of the money you make on a normal day that you have made? Because people don't come to sell. How much of a loss has that been for you?
Very much, because sometimes I do sell like 30, 300 or 200, but since that day, we've not even touched 200 cities. So it's been a very touchful loss to us.
Your husband makes me understand that the plan is to maybe relocate. How do you feel about the decision to move from this place? How long have you been selling in the first place?
Almost like 2 to 3 years now.
Okay, so this has been a place for you to do business for 2 to 3 years. But now, how do you feel about the plan to maybe move out of this place?
We've not gotten any place yet, but it seems like the water has come once and now it has repeated itself again. So it seems like it will be a difficult thing to move to another place before getting new customers and those things. But because if something is not done about it, we have to move by force, because if it wants to come again, it can come.
Okay. Is there any help that you are hoping that people in authority can give to you and the other residents in this area? What kind of help are you looking for?
to prevent the water. That's the big help.
So
That
we're talking
one,
about
yes.
the defense wall.
So that if the water can, it can support the water when it wants to come or those things.
Okay.
That one will be a big help to us.
This is one of the houses that has been affected by the tidal waves. The water has receded now, and that's why I'm able to stand on this platform in front of their shop here. The water is totally receded from what they tell me. But this is the landlady or the owner of the house, or one of the people in this house, and she's going to speak to us.
Wachia mila mokpokwa na chiolo to komili ya za ko chava agaramyaji hemi va fia po bi andre wo ya chama va fia po aka ha va fia adofu chi ja ko va na fia fo mo suna gbola ka
Masuna gwala ka vo viade
ta na ma komite mi ada nu mi adu ho ya bonu kata va la jifo anu mi dara mi te mi ada nu ha mi adra ho ta review kata mo ti no school
mi saba an ya jona pa da shiade. Hello.
mara kuma jo fia po
Ma jola fia ko. Ye fia o jola de. Inka o mi la fia.
Pakpara nu ko jimi le nya pakpara mian odu jiru na pakpara mian.
Pakpara un ka bia mi le. Na mi ba pakpara un ade aka kun jimi le nka.
Na kanya chafo hano va kpo na mi no wado ha bona mi na chafo na tai.
Okay, so what she's just telling me is that she's been here for many years, close to 10 years, and this is the first time anything of this magnitude has happened. Like many people have already asked for, she's asking for support for possibly a harbor, the sea defense wall, so that this water doesn't keep coming into their home, so that they can do their business. Because as she tells us, most of the things that would usually keep on the floors have now been lifted onto platforms. Nka na wana fi achia va demi defia nka na wana
makuma nyina kpakpa he kpakpe koklo
kpakpa he ye achia va demi ade kpakpa he na nie kalifia
maku tia yo va de ma kpakpa he ka tojo le chiaji ta we be nyemata awonu kpakpa he o menyi ko mo po le ko ama gbo
ye amanya de wa ma na ni mai ma na kpo enyi le
maku 50 pieces vo kpakpa he ro la jiji koklo ha la jiji ta we be ye tia va wonu iko nyemata awonu ta o ka ta o chichia ma ha
kpakpa he ba nya kokrom le ka koklo nto de
ma koklo ha o chichia ma ya o moton ma gbo bo moton ma mo kpo ga ko ina amara ta ko chichia ji nyemata na ma lawo
kavifia de nka wo na le because mi nya ba achia yema achia kali nyawa fo yema le chia ma ka kavado klo nka wo mi la fia
ma kunye mana na ka mo taye ojola ka o ba na mi ba le community center ta fi ma ko mi le fia mi ma gana na ka o
ka pakpara un ka bia mi la cho alo pakpara un ka jimi la fifia
ma kumye jiba government ana kpere mi nti alo na emi ogun ojo ka ba ma ka ma le run dodo ma ne gbo fi ovajo ta yo ojo ka mi hin pepe un sugbo ba no kpere mi nti na wonyo na do ba kutia ma lo ji te fa re na mi ano mi afa jina ajima kwesu sube na mi atanu mi afa gbesia gbedo fa yi aba yo ojo ka ko mi an fi ochi afa mo matan no oyisu ko mi ko nti ko ba ha mi akona o.
Michael Bumegbe is the chief fisherman at GhanaWeb, and he's here to speak to us. Good morning.
Morning.
We're going to do this in Ewe as well. Maraku, manya bade achiba unya na jola fia de. Atanglo extent ka o glan wo la fia na mia.
Magloba nyatape nchoko shiragbe for former. Nchoko shiragbe for former apo ba gaton na. Alaba miano viaro fon dongo inare etoji ka la oba fuataroro iko oyomi amaraka nyino bala marakashi alaba yom blana ba o yodora fuatafia chafu vuore nyaba toji vuo chafu va ore alaba chofma nya ha emasi amayo kata roto kata ba no bala shinya ba kofuma yo ba oba chafu vuore la fuata ta mi do nya ba alevuo ko ye fu du yi fuata ko mi ba no avuo mre poji Kasha koime me hu hama chapwa adodom va nyang tom va yimre aduama. Kasha mya hawo re kpojivo. Aba 4 o'clock na mya tro va agara duama. Ko kasha me va duama me va po me le fota no hu hama mya shon no mya yom. Chapa ma ba achi va gara afama na mi. Kasha me hon to me ba awo achi ala ko ga gara mya gbofia. Kasha ya fu do va ro pama. Me va po kata ma yok le achi alaba miapa ma anyangu le nyanyana mi ba ato ba doro mi ajina na motawe ba me bang no masio gareo la nyigba la home alaba yo va na mako gareo kataji ko aglon ka amaro ofa hakpo le fuata alaba abanga hakporo gare haogbo alaba anya kokla fugba fi over haola chiama aro over agbatro ko awe ba le nyata pama mawe ajore nyajie ma ka la khama mawe ba vivi ama si ama ba khoyo achi yo khoni ta je ba mi kata mi adogola mi ba foma ka ama yo ka over noviaro la mogodo maro fo ba ngojo yafma ka ama yo ka maraka mala fma na o fo ba ngo community center kala mi agbo alaba ya chi ama ba rio ko maro fo bangu aba kore community center ma ko ba we ba nyata pa ye o nya ba chapo glen ma fifile fi nya ba nguru popo nyaru anye dona mi ala ka go jala ba chapo gbo ko mi na go fi pon haruna mi apa avio ba sku yi nya o aba ta kamana mi lenka ka ava tonne adomia ajangu ka tatara mi ajala ka go je ka mi li dom nad motoyom over le ho ba vava over kpongo jojo kata ka ngiko na mi nya fi akpie nya ba a choi trauma over mi agbo ba amayo ka le community center ma o kwe yo tangwa na o enwu viare alaba magba yo rogava apoyo kata chiare ko apoyo kata chiare fi filefia o yaba lo faraka wiandre na apoyo ka chiare ka mi amagbo susu yo la po o ma na mi ba mi afo mi kata ngu fo iya ba akpere kakle na nana amakpere kakle na nana ko awe ba lenya tapa ma mawe nya njojo ajore mi aji fifile ika mi mokpom na jiruru na garama alaba oba awona na mi va vieto ye achiala mi agbo still meta afiara kayimo jiruru na wajita para mi o komia daro alaba no komi daria chofma mi ho mi to akpogbojo alaba miano mi aba do fo yin class ba miano mi aba ngururupo alaba nguya ka o kovena amayo ka alla community center ma cho la nyata pa nguya o kona afakoraka nguya o kone la nyata pa nguma lanka karaka ba ngururu la mi aba fa ma mi runa ma madana mi crown.
So I want you to tell me how this place used to be before this, because we are riding on a canoe now.
First of all, my name is Achu Amuzu. 3 days today, it was Sunday, around 5 o'clock going. We just sleep for the room, no, we just hear the noise. Sea is coming. We don't understand. So before we wake up for the house, no, the house all full up, our things all spoiled. My TV, my room things all, everything spoiled. So we can do it, like I don't know how we go do. So it be like no work again, no fishing, no.
You are a fisherman.
Yeah, I'm a fisherman.
So you've not been able to go to sea since then?
Yeah, since Sunday we can go see because we no get place to pull the rope, and even we no get place to sleep to go to work. So we just patrol for our friends. So the things is hard for me too much. So the government for council or government to do something for me.
How much of a help will the sea defense, how much would it help your work and then your community as a whole?
As now, like the sea first from beginning, we started to come small. But now it's too much. So we want to make the government can't dip the water inside for we, make the water go back small. Yeah, that is one problem now.
All right.
This place we are passing right now. First, no water, but because of the sea, where the water can remain for here like this. So it's hard for you to cross the water, go fishing.
This was a bare land. It was just like the other side.
Yeah.
And then this is water from the tidal waves.
Yeah.
That has turned it, and we are riding on a canoe now because we can't walk through this water.
Yeah.
The sea started ravaging this very community from March this year. It started from Salakope. When you go there now, you realize that a plethora of houses are gone, have been washed ashore. People have lost their fishing equipment because this community, their major source of livelihood is fishing. Their boats have been destroyed. Some of them have lost their outboard motors. Now, when you get to the various houses, you realize that once the tidal waves comes around, it affects. It does affect the homes. It washes away their belongings, like their clothing. It sometimes has to take away their electrical gadgets, like the fridges and stuff like that. This has impacted negatively on the enrollment in the school or attendance in the school. Initially, we were having a population of about 800 plus, but as we speak today, when you go to the classroom and you put the number of students who are regular in school, they are numbering almost a little above 400. This is a sign that the tidal wave destruction in these communities has impacted on education. West of it, we used to have about close to 30 candidates getting prepared for the BEC examination. But as we speak today, we are only having 15 regular students in school who are ready for their examination. This is because, you see, once their families or parents have been affected, they are unable to give them money to even come to school to buy food for themselves. They will have to drop out. Those whose books, school uniforms, clothing, and other stuffs have been taken away have also dropped out of school because their parents don't have money to get them a school uniform. We want immediate intervention from the President of the Republic of Ghana. These are people that he have sworn to protect. These are people that he have sworn to be with them in times of their need. And so our passionate appeal to him is that, one, he needs to, as a matter of urgency, expedite action on the second phase of the project to cover those communities that are affected by the tidal wave. And secondly, there are some relief items that have been given to the communities affected. It is woefully inadequate. It is woefully inadequate, although they say half a loaf is better than bread, but we are looking forward to more of those things so that at least it will ameliorate the plight of the indigents going forward. The reason it seems that Keta has been hardly hit is that when you compare Salakope and Amutinu to Keta, one, you realize that this area, Salakope here, there are a lot of sand here. So immediately the sea flows here, the sand absorbs it. Besides, we are torn between the sea and then the lagoon. So anytime this place gets flooded, we have to break into the main road for the sea to gush into the lagoon. There are times that we use pumping machine to pump it to the lagoon. That is how come when you come here after some few hours that the tidal wave hit this place, you feel like there's nothing happening here. Now, Keta, they don't have anywhere to pump their water to. So anytime you visit there, you feel that that place has been hardly hit. That is not so. We have also been seriously affected.
Le namacho izipata enye ba chafura manya egbom yaramo ikaba mye boblodon na jiru kaka jiru ma konya ma mya gbokpo mu ya kan cho memra gbeba za gavema e ya va ejia ma le bobo crowd e ya boblo domela boblo go domela e amo e ka chafuro ro ma opa nno mo shokata ogle fiofio opa la vio chichingo o mazio ha o chichingo blo o togbi o pro mama aro nya mama o chichingo e opon no mo shokata ogle fio vai
Ni kwenye ngwa kwenye ba mia kpongroro na kuhia kata jojo tso gbaragbe ke kwenye ba ova do chapo na mi. Chapo do do enu nya se dynamic koko kuhia tera ko ba fia chapo tso afi ba ro fia ajiji. Tam nyo menye miawe gogo chapo nto ba van. Eta jiruru mamo ntonto odo ha chapo e ma gbona ve gbo. Ta no glo ba mia to tere chapo ngo mi tere chapo jiruru nto amate gbona chapo kpo ga ava do more gbo. Ta chapo ro tete va tangi ko kwenya nroro ko nyare kuku na nyama du klola bubu toko bo tro ko mia gbo kle mia nola ko ikunye bo do chapo na mi kunu nya se do chapo ya ko ke mia ba afifafa ko ni fafa ngbu na mo nyung mia gbenon ro bo bubu gbegbe gbe shagbe jingra ka fa me gbo ojo kple ngma o mia ha mia ko te pare ade taru go fi na nya be mai ro khola va yo mia yi na nya be agbe mi va le Ghana mi va no mi ko vi ya na manyo vava se ko jino ga miala ka mana va una mi ta mi nya ba vava se ro glango meng na ba nya jila ro maru la mama le shu maru nya dono de viaro o nya ba dia va su ku ka ka chapo mo na na ba o mate su kwa demu ta mi re ku na jiruru ta nyi ko na urororo kata ko nya ba va do chapo.
This is still GhanaWeb Special on GhanaWeb TV with me, Eche Atisu. We are here at Amutinu. It's in the Ketu South district of the Volta region. It's one of the communities that has been affected by the tidal waves. We are here in one of the primary schools in the area to speak to the headmaster. Good afternoon, sir.
Fine afternoon.
Please tell us your name.
My name is William Kofi Afarito.
Okay, so what's the name of your school?
The name of my school is Amutinu MA Basic School.
All right, and you have students or you have pupils who come from which kind of communities? Are they only from the Amutinu community?
No, majority of them come from Amutinu, but the rest come from Salakofe and then Adina.
All right, now let's come to the substantive issue. The issue of tidal waves. Has this affected your school in any way? I want us to take a walk whilst you show us that. Has this affected your school in any way? Let's take a walk while we do that.
Okay. When I was posted to this school, it's barely 2 years now.
Okay.
When I came here, the sea was far away from the school.
Okay.
But less than a year now, the sea is almost nearer to the school building. So without the help of the government, less than a year, this school will no more be here.
As I see it now, the beach is just some 200 or 300 meters away from your school block. You say this was not the situation. I can see the markings right on the floor. You say this could affect you, but how much of an effort have you made? You say you've been here for 2 years. How much of an effort have you made in trying to ensure that this help comes to you as easy as or as soon as possible?
Oh, anyway, one thing I can say is that the assemblyman is a staff member of the school.
Okay.
So anytime they come, they see the assemblyman. So if we can say something about that, unless you see the assemblyman. But all the time, people have been coming to promises. The FM stations have been coming. But so far, I can't say anything that this is the promise we are giving, unless we see the assemblyman.
You're an educationist. In the meantime, what kind of challenge, or even with what we've experienced so far, are your students worried in any way? What kind of fears do they show to you? All that are you aware of?
Oh, as for me, the way the students talk, I don't see that. I've not seen that they are worried, but it is the parents who are worried. But the students themselves, they don't worry. They don't care about it. But the parents, they are worried.
What kind of things do the parents tell you?
Oh, what they say is that sometimes the sea will enter their rooms. They may not be able to sleep with a lot of things. Because of that, it is even affecting their economic activities.
All right. So this is still GhanaWeb Special. We are placing our focus on the effects of the tidal waves that have ravaged communities along the coastal lines of the Volta region, specifically the Ketu South into Keta areas. And so we are still speaking to a number of stakeholders in this area. As you can see, we are just at the beach line right now, just behind this Amutinu MA school, and you can see the line here. The headmaster tells me this is how far the water went, or the water came the last time, and if nothing is done about this, it could just escalate. You wanted to say something?
Yes. Sometimes the tidal waves enter the school
blocks.
The school blocks.
Okay.
So sometimes, in fact, if you come and see the situation here, you will not like it. So it is only these 3 days it has gone back a bit, but very soon it will come back again, and the tidal wave will just be splashing against the wall of the school. So we need the help of the authorities, those who are in authority who can help us. Other than that, the school will no more be here again.
As far as I'm concerned, we have 149 homes affected and 1,027 individuals that are being affected. We have Salakope, Agaveji, Adina, and Amuchinu being affected. Those are the communities, as far as I know, that are affected. We try to get a place for them temporarily so that those who are severely affected can have a place to put their heads. And some of them are in the church rooms, and others decided to perch at the end of their families that are at the higher grounds. A lot of them prefer to stay with their families. So as at now, that is what is going on. As far as I'm concerned, I had a discussion with the regional minister. You know, I have to deal with the regional minister, and some discussions with the Minister for Works and Housing. As far as I know, there are a lot of preparation that is ongoing. As you could hear, the Minister for Works and Housing himself said there are a lot of preparation ongoing for this project to start as quickly as possible. But let me do this clarification. You know, I will encourage the government not to do this sea defense to only the affected places. They have to extend it to Aflao border, because when it stops at maybe Adina, the rest of Denu and Aflao will be washed away with these tidal waves. So they have to do it up to Aflao border. And I'm sure if they want to do that, they have to do it in consultation with the Togolese counterpart. Because if they end it at the border, then the whole Lomé will be affected, and which will even come back to affect us in Ghana here. So it's a big project on its own.
James talked about the fact that his widow's mite, he thanked some people who supported him to hold these things together. He mentioned the work he did on sea defense when he was in government, having to build some sea defense and also in some communities, boulders to break the waves.
Okay.
And then we went to the worst hit area in Nangro. It's the school. That's Uvama.
Okay.
The place called Uvama, so that would be, Uvama had a school, which the tidal wave destroyed. So a new one had been put up, and that too has been destroyed. So that's the site we went to. I mean, it was very pathetic. And I hear that it has actually affected the estuary that's in Southstone. So they are also hit by the effects of the tidal wave. I think in their case, the sea has blocked the entry of the river into the sea.
Okay.
So those who need to move on boats and so on are unable to travel across anymore. So it needs dredging. So what GM said was that it probably needs dredging, but he was inviting engineers and those in hydro, something hydro, to come and take a look and advise the state so that the necessary action is taken to have the necessary dredge to alleviate the suffering of those people too. So what's happening is whichever water from the river to be entering the sea is now going into their communities and destroying sea as well, because it has no way to get into the sea.
I want to understand we know that the eventual solution to all of this is the call for a sea defense wall, which is what people have called for countless times. But in the interim, and knowing how intensive a project that could be, what are the kinds of things that you are looking at? I'm talking about you as the MP for Ketu South, your other colleagues in the neighboring constituencies. What are the other solutions that you are putting in place or looking out for?
No, the immediate medium-term intervention would be for the states to construct temporary accommodation, where the people who are worst hit can go and find solace while we look at the bigger picture of the sea defense. So they need to identify a place and quickly put up. It could be tents, it could be brick and cement, who knows? But something has got to be done so that those who don't have accommodation can find one. The reason why we are demanding for a temporary accommodation is that in our case, as in Ketu South, this is the third one. So if your sister's house was lost in the first one, then she comes to live with you, and then it hits you yourself in May, and then you all move into your family house, and then in November, the family house is also taken. That leaves you with nothing. That leaves you with people who. It's important that the state provides a temporary accommodation for. Know that we mean well, we should be able to do this. But so far, it's been, I think that the conversation I've had with the regional minister points to the fact that he agrees that it has to be done. In fact, he agreed way back in May that this is a thing that has to be done. And it's 5 months down the line. Why didn't he done it?
Okay. There are also concerns and calls for not just the building of sea defense walls around the areas that have been affected now. There are also concerns about the larger discussions on climate change, because the fear is that if these defense walls are built all the way to the Ketu South area, it could extend into the neighboring country, Togo, Lome. There are suggestions that this should be a collaborative effort between authorities here and those in our neighboring country, Togo. Is this something you subscribe to?
I have a situation I want it dealt with. Togo is a sovereign country. They are responsible for their citizens. I want them to consider looking at finding the resources so that when we build ours to Aflaudi can continue. I don't think global warming is a secret. COP26 I just ended. Everybody knows about it. So I'm sure that they have their plans as a country. I'm not sure that, we can love our neighbors more than ourselves. And so it is what it is. So what are we going to do? So because Togo will have a problem that they have to deal with, we should not solve our problem. I don't understand this kind of argument though. Right. On humanitarian grounds, we will empathize with them, but they don't have a problem right now. We have a problem. Can we solve it?
All along all the conversations we've been having about the tidal waves that have ravaged communities in the Volta region, the southern parts of the Volta region, the Anglo side to be specific, all these have had to do with the climate change. And so we're here also within the Volta region. It's just around, this is Meet Me There, one of the most popular restaurants, sleeping areas that a lot of people come to while away their time and all of that. This place has also been affected by the tidal waves, heavily affected. And we have the manager here. He's going to give us some perspectives, give us an understanding of how badly the situation is. You're welcome to GhanaWeb.
Thank you. My name is Christian.
All right, Christian. Let's understand what kind of business you used to do here and how badly you've been affected.
Okay, so this is Meet Me There African Home Lodge. We have the lodge, which whatever we realize from the lodge, we push it into the NGO, which is working in the community. But now, as things stands now, we got a tidal waves that came in last Sunday night, and as we can all see, it has taken over our sitting area, taking over those rooms over there, and now our business has come to a halt. We don't know when we are resuming business, because as this is all a sitting area, which people sit and eat and drink. But now, as it is, nobody can come here, and we don't know when this will drain down. So we are all just hoping for the best.
That's to say that this entire place, more or less like a lagoon now, used to be dry land.
Oh yeah, this is a dry land. No, the entire place is not a dry land. This is on the lagoon.
Okay.
Where we are standing is on the lagoon, but now it's in the lagoon. Yeah.
Okay. So that means that because of the tidal waves, did you have guests here in the first place?
Oh yeah. So that fateful Sunday night, we got guests in all the rooms, but then we have to wake them up for them to go and refund them as well. So that affects business.
This has been a few days now.
Yeah.
How is Meet Me There coping? Management of Meet Me There. You mentioned that you have an NGO that also helps people in the communities here. How are you coping?
Well, not much we can do than to shut down. Well, as at now, we are just tidying up the mess that the sea has brought, hoping that it will drain down for us to start business. But then, as it is, that's affecting the workers here, and that's going to affect what we do in the community as well. Yeah.
A lot of people are calling for the construction of a sea defense wall. Is that the same thing you're calling for? And in the interim, if that is not done, what kind of thing are you going to do? Because yours is a business. What are you going to do in the interim to ensure that your place is still running?
Okay, if it's the sea defense, if it's something within our power that we can do, we will have done it about 10 years ago. Because I've been in all the offices with my letters that I know they can do something about the sea defense, but it never yield anything.
What's the feedback you get?
Well, it will be done, but then when they start doing it, they end on the way at Aklotoko, and that's it. We have a monitoring camera from University of Cape Coast along the shore, and they came after one of their report. It's like, well, within the next 10-12 years to come, if nothing is done, this whole coast will be gone. Yeah, so we are just living in limbo here. Yeah.
All right. We're sorry about how badly you're affected. We hope that this is taken care of soon enough so that your business can also get back on track. From the Ketu South District to Keta, all the way to Angloga, you've seen the devastation that the tidal waves have caused to many people, businesses, and properties along this way. And this has been a GhanaWeb special for GhanaWeb TV. Like many have asked for, the sea defense wall should be built for people around these coastal communities so that the recurrent damages that these tidal waves cause will be a thing of the past. My name is Eche Atisu, and this has been a GhanaWeb special.